High-Tech Motorsport back here, Upper Minnesota, 763-712-9088. Bill's finishing up a V6 hot rod race motor with the new yellow Terra rockers. But today we're really say hi, Bill.
Hi.
Bill's not happy for some reason. I can see by the look in his eyes. All right, here we go. So Dustin came up from Illinois, and we did his 6.1 Jeep with a Charger. This is taken off of Charlie's Jeep because Charlie's going with the new 4.2, and done a little bit of work here, but let's try to get this really close because it turns out it's got really close. Spin the tires. Anyway, supercharger made 375 wheel without the Charger. I'm kind of expecting it to be up around 500, 505. Told the customer I'd put him up on YouTube. When he comes back, we'll get an interview. And there's your, there we go. Let's see what's going on here. Kyle's warming it up. Looks like it's lean unless the air fuel isn't turned down, which is very possible. It does have 85-pound injectors in it, and we'll see, the pump should hold on, but AFR is showing lean. See what's going on. I'll be back. All right, so we had a little chunk of ice in the oxygen sensor, the wideband that we use on the dyno. I'm in the room with the printer, so it's quieter. We're doing the Jeep. Kyle was doing a little data logging, just some little preliminary stuff, and he's probably gonna add just a touch of fuel to it, or he might take a zing, but it was spinning the tires. That will make our lives a little more difficult. Now this is the 2.3 Edelbrock blower. They do not make a kit for this one, but we did for Charlie, and then Dustin bought it from Charlie. So it's a little bit extra work. It's not end of the earth. It takes a few extra connections here and there and everywhere, and he's got big 80-pound plus injectors. Fuel rails, all kinds of goodies. And it's still spinning the tires real bad. I don't know what we're gonna do about that. It's not that cold out right now, but probably make it 500 foot-pounds. Great. Anyway, air fuel looks good. Let's see if we can get it to hook. All right, Bartlett High-Tech back here. We made the first pull. Made 375 NA. First pull going dead rich to the bottom. You can see it's dead rich to the bottom right here. That's where my little arrow is. Made 434 horse to the wheels and 405 foot-pounds of torque. We got lots of room to run yet. We always sneak up on these things. So it's already up 60 at the wheel. We're gunning for 500 with a 3.50 pulley. If we have to slow it down, we will. So we'll let Kyle do his thing there, and we'll keep reporting back. And away we go. All right, Bartlett High-Tech back here again with the mighty Jeep with the 2.3. We saw 144 gigahertz, whatever, on the gigahertz thing for load, which is about 6 pounds. We got very little timing in it right now at 10 degrees. We'll see what goes on from here. Kyle just made a couple changes to get the air fuel straightened out. That's better. Made 456. Air fuel is a little bit rich yet. We'll see what he wants to do. Still a shaky line. Let me show you the difference here. So it probably needs a couple more degrees of timing because we're getting a little bit of a shaky line right here. I want to show you this. So again, this goes back to the dyno thing and what's really good for. And 2 versus 1. Move. So this is the last run right here. See how shaky this line is? There might be a little knock retard right there. We'll see what's going on, but it seems like it's a little off. Like it just isn't pulling clean at the top. And air fuel, let's take a look. So it comes down here right away. It's really nice and clean here, and then it drops down. Oh geez, he's got it off of RPM. All right, engine speed. So you can see it's down at 11.2, 11.3. He's gonna poop this up, gonna take a little fuel out of it, put it up to 11.7, 11.8. But that's not gonna be enough to get us to our 500 horse goal. So we may change a pulley, or I'll ask about probably put 2 more degrees of spark in it and see what it's going to do there. But see how shaky this line is? That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for a nice smooth curve all the way up. So something's going on. We'll figure it out. Be back. All right. Started high-tech back here again. Got the Jeep on. It's made 450 some horse to the wheels. Not enough. Put some good gas in it. So a little ping, only 7 degrees across the middle, taking out a couple degrees, which we're kind of wondering why. But the fuel might be kind of poopy. They may have Dustin, if you put shitty gas in it, shame on you. But anyway, air intake temperature up at 135, so we got to cool down a little bit. We're going to run it up a little bit here and take a look. We're mixing in the new gas I stuffed in the truck, 91 octane, so it should be better. But it'll run it a little bit. And we'll make another pull and see where it goes to. Okay, part of high-tech, we're back here with the Jeep. Just made another pull with it after we mixed up the new gas with the old gas. 0 knock retard now. We're up to 468 wheel. We're gunning for 500 on a stock 6.1 with the blower. You can see that. The red line is the last one. You'll see it's still shaky. We're going to add 2 degrees of spark to it now. There's no knock with the good gas in it. Just showing you what's going on here. So it comes up, gets a little shaky on top. Air fuel is a little bit rich yet, but fuel is cheap. Motors are really expensive. This is my problem right here. You see it comes up and the torque doesn't belly up like this and carry. It kind of comes up here and kind of ends up coming down. You're looking for the torque to come up and just stay flat all the way across the top. And then what happens is your horsepower goes up at a 45-degree angle, which will hit our 500 goal that we're looking for. So right here from about 37 up, we're going to add a little bit of timing to it. I'm going to talk to Kyle about just taking out a touch of fuel and we'll go from there. Yeah, there you go. All right, we're back with the Jeep again, and we added 2 degrees of timing all the way across with good gas. So now it's going to be at 12 and wide open. So once again, Dyno is just a great tuning tool. See how this is getting straighter and straighter all the time? Air fuel is still, in my opinion, we're going to lean it out just a little bit because it's nice and smooth down here. It gets a little shaky, but I really like the, oh, it's only 480. 480 horsepower, 463 torque. So I like that extra 2 degrees. That's cool. And I'll get rid of the old run so you can see it. Nice and close. So there's your new curve on everything you're doing. See how it's starting to straighten out? It's not quite as herky-jerky. It's a little jerky right here. It's nice and smooth down low, and that's where the air fuel is at 1201. We might be seeing something going on with this particular set of exhaust. So he's going to take a little bit of fuel out right here and straighten out at 1201 and go from there. All right, part of high-tech here. We got the Jeep going. So we took a little bit of fuel out of it and got 12 degrees of spark in it now. Good gas. It made 502 wheel horse and 490 foot-pounds of torque. And this is what that setup looks like. Now we've got a little bit of work we did here. We had to move the battery over and change the throttle body and a bunch of wiring and stuff like that on this thing. But all in all, it's a nice clean install. Once again, Edelbrock does not make this. We did this, and then we moved it over from one Jeep to another. So we can, I'll get John out here and we'll explain everything we moved. But I want to show you the dyno sheet for the beginning and end. And that's why I love screw chargers, because they make nice big fat torque curves. All right, so the red line right here you're looking at, that's what it just did. You can see it's 502.44 and 496 torque, the wheels. So it's nice and flat. We got all the kinks and bumps and crap out of it. Tires are bouncing a little bit. They don't like what we're doing to it. And the blue line is what he came in with, which was 375 and 382. So we're up 128 horsepower at the wheels and up 104 foot-pounds of torque, 114. So everything's working really good. We're going to print this out. Now next is drivability, and we're going to get John out here to explain everything we did. You see the air fuel at the bottom here. It's nice and smooth now, right down at 1201. And I'm real happy with that. So this is all we promised the guy, and it's going to be plenty fast, and away we go. All right, Bartlett High Tech Motorsport is Friday afternoon, evening, 6 o'clock. We're working on Dustin's Jeep here. This is an 06 or 07. We put the Edelbrock 2.3 supercharger on it, which they don't make a kit for it. And John's going to explain, my top dog here. He's going to tell you what we had to do to put this on. Moved over from another Jeep that we did the same thing. But for all you guys with a Jeep that want to do an Edelbrock, here you go. John, say hi.
Hello.
Tell them what we did.
All right, so we started with the Edelbrock supercharger kit for a Charger Challenger, I believe.
I thought it was for a truck, but I'm with you so far.
No, the truck has a different throttle body setup. I believe we started with the car kit. Has a dedicated drive for the supercharger on the front end of the motor. So luckily the motors are the same, you know, Charger, Challenger, Jeep, all that stuff. The front end accessories are pretty much the same. So that all bolted on just fine. We had to rework the upper radiator hose a little bit to get clearance for the tensioner for the supercharger belt.
Okay.
You had to relocate the battery to the passenger side of the vehicle. Required just moving the tray over, making a new mount with a standoff, and then extending the cables over here. The water tank just needed to modify the bracket on the bottom, and it bolts to the strut brace, and then just routing the hoses customly, since it's, you know, we got to route it a little different being in the Jeep versus a car. For that aspect, so just 3/4 inch heater hose and straight lengths. The heat exchanger up front, we had to go through and cut the mounts off and re-weld them on in the new location to mount the heat exchanger up, just like it would on the cars. And then, yeah, we moved the power steering cooler also. It's very similar to how it's bolted up in the cars. We just had to move the mounts to get it in the right place with the Jeep radiator. And then it's just a matter of trimming all the plastics and the bumper cover to get everything to fit, and then getting and modifying the water pump bracket to bolt up to the underside of the structure up front. There's no dedicated spot for it, so we just have to make that. The intake track, we had to make a custom tube here with a little bump out to go around the power steering reservoir. And then this is, we could ask Charlie what the colder intake was when it started life, but we were able to use that then with the adapter here. Fuel lines are all the same, so that just clips on. Fuel line coming up from the firewall up to the front, loops around in the back. We do have to move the cowl a little bit to get clearance for the back of the supercharger here. It's not a lot, but you just got to trim the felt and push it up. You can cut it too, you can cut it and then push it up either way, and then rebend the brake line a little bit to get clearance for all that around the back. Wiring wise is all pretty much the same as the cars. You just got to plug in the adapter for the intake air temp sensor and the map sensor. Those are easy to get to on this, luckily. Throttle body plugs in the same. And then I think that was really about the extent of all the custom modifying. I mean, the battery relocation and rerouting the hoses for the water to air and getting the plastics trimmed up front. That's pretty much it.
All right, so there you have it. If you want to do it at home, you can take a look. This thing did make 502 horse at the wheels on pump gas, 3.5 inch pulley. You know, you have to pin the crank on the bottom, and not a lot of really more trivial pursuit stuff. If you don't want to do it yourself, just give me a call. We do these installed for 10 grand, tuning included, all put back together before and after dyno runs. Takes about a week, maybe a couple days longer than that for all the special little pieces and stuff. But Bartlett High Tech signing off. John, say goodbye.
Bye.
All right, thank you very much. We'll post her up. See you, Dustin. All right, Bartlett High Tech, here we are. We're out in the little black Jeep with the 2.3 supercharger on. This is a completely stock 6.1, no headers, no nothing. Kyle's driving today, which scares the snot out of me, but we're gonna go out and show you guys what this will do. We're gonna take it gentle at first because we don't want to snap axles and do all kinds of weird stuff. So we're gonna warm it up a little bit and then we'll be right back. Oh God. Yeah. And we're just going to be we're somewhere in Mexico, down by Juarez.
Coldest part of Mexico.
Coldest part of Mexico. Got a little snow. We're up in the Mexican mountains, where all the signs here are actually printed in English. So they're very progressive up here. We're going to warm it up a little bit. We're going to do it on the way back here. Just kind of roll the throttle. Get a video for this owner that he can take home with him, and we'll put it up on the internet, because these things are a lot of fun with a screw charger. Not so much with a Sidewinder blower, as we know. Started High Tech back here again. We got the Jeep warmed up. We're somewhere near Juarez, Mexico. Kyle's driving. Frightening.
6 pounds of boost.
Anyway, so we got this little on-ramp, which is somewhat downhill. We're just going to roll into it, Kyle. We're going to roll into it, because
it's all-wheel drive.
I don't want to break anything. The thing's making a lot of torque and a lot of power.
Just,
I don't care if he breaks it, it's okay. Just slow it down. Hit it. Yeah, and that's 100. Okay. Thank God the speed limit here is 105. 105.
Back to 65. I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, exactly right. So these things are fun with an e-force. We're the ones that make the kit for it. On the video, you'll see John at the end talk about what we changed on it. You guys are sure welcome to give that a try. Call me up and I'll get you the kit, and you guys can have at it. Thanks for tuning in. Say goodbye, Kyle.
Bye.